Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a very special Blacklist broadcast. Coming at you the night before For All We've Left Behind comes out. I mean, in a couple of hours, the album will be out.
I know. It's like Black Lake's Eve. Not Christmas Eve, but like Black Lake's Eve.
But it sounds like, a lot of people have had that Christmas present a little bit early. It sounds like some people have, from looking at my Twitter feed all day and seeing loads of lovely pictures, including one of an absolutely incredibly photogenic cat rolling around on our album. I'm very pleased to see that people have been getting their albums. Hi, George.
Hey, George. I agree with you. I think it's, as much as I despise them personally, in this context I think it's okay. It's like the Christmas Eve box, which I think is a massive cop-out. You know what I mean? Christmas Day for presents, not Christmas Eve. But Black Lake's album the day before is fine. That's perfectly appropriate. It's perfectly okay.
Not that I want to get off topic, in the usual Blacklist kind of way straight away. But what on earth is a Christmas Eve box?
It's just BS, man. If you ask me, it's like, I can't make them wait another day. They can have presents the night before. No, it's called Christmas Eve, not like quasi Christmas Day. Make them wait. Bizarre. Anyway, that's my. I have strong opinions on the Christmas Eve box.
Apparently so.
It's totally. Jesus, so many people. Wow, Claire, hi. Mac, hi. I'm not sure. Got mine today. So good, nice. I don't know who. Forgive me, Will. You may know who Mr. DJ Superhands is.
I do. Yeah, that's a good friend of mine.
I wish I knew Mr. DJ Superhands.
It can be arranged.
Hello, Mr. DJ Superhands. Welcome to the Blacklist. Or a special impromptu ad hoc Blacklist. Kaz, hello. Susie, hello. Kirsty, hello. Dave Ritchie, hello. Seaton, hey. I'm glad you're all right. Last time I saw you on Friday, you were definitely enjoying yourself, sir. So good to know you're still in one piece, which is marvellous. Thank you, George. I completely agree. It's for parents that cannot control their young people. Ha, super hands. Nice. Wow. Welcome on board, everyone.
So we have a sort of vague plan of what we're going to do. Talk over the tracks. Explain them. But before we get into it, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. So rule number 1: nothing is off limits. Don't worry about sticking to the topic, because otherwise we'll end up really constraining ourselves, because we never stick to the topic. Rule 2. Before we get into this, we all need to say a big thank you to the wonderful folks at ERB magazine who are watching this evening, because this landed on my doorstep today. And if you flip to page 32, not that I've memorised what page we're on already, but if you flip to page 32, there is this gorgeous double page spread featuring our ugly mugs.
Move past swiftly. There we go. That's better.
Looks absolutely quality. Wow. There's also a very kind album review in here as well, in which we get given the most impressive release box there. 5 out of 5. Don't you know?
How much did we pay for that?
How much do we pay? I can't disclose it on the stream.
At least a copy of the album. I know that much.
At least.
I think you are the first band to ever be in twice in the same issue. Wow. Oh, do you mean it can't be twice ever? Surely, that's incredible. But yeah, twice in the same issue. I'll take that. That's pretty awesome.
I'll take it. I will take that.
Like you, James, my copy is on order, although I have not actually ordered it yet. But in my mind, I've done it 5 times. You know those texts where you're like, "Ooh, must order my back copies of VRV and get that copy." Right? Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did I think about sending you that text and not actually send it? That's what's happened so far. So ERB, there is an order coming. It's coming.
I am on the rum, Claire. Not a pint of it, but I thought I would have a couple just to celebrate.
I'm about to say, we've got to make sure you talk about the opening 3 tracks then, because 5 tracks in is just going to descend into...
Yeah. Oh, this is my favourite track.
Oh, I love this track. On that one.
Before we get into it then, I just want to say, I know that there are a few people here that were with us on Friday, and there are a few people here who wanted to be with us and couldn't because of that awesome weather. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to every single person. If you made it, it was hugely appreciated. I don't think we've ever played to a crowd that big. We've never played to a crowd that's been singing along like that. It was honestly astounding, and
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain how it made me feel, but
surreal.
I do. I think all of Black Lakes have put themselves in for 6 months of therapy to recover from Friday. We're all sitting there. He's like, "What happened?" It's like, "Well, there were people there. What do you mean?" And like singing and like going mental and being right at the front. And yeah, we're all in therapy trying to recover from the appreciation both of the gig and of the album in general, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, and, you had a Scrabble gift.
nice little gift there as well. This is gonna come with us every time we play. This is gonna be on our merch table.
Yeah. You were there in spirit, Black Sunshine. You absolutely were. I know. As commutes go, in a storm from Massachusetts is probably not the easiest. Fly over. So we had people struggling to get from England to Wales, which is tantamount not very far. But when they shut bridges, it gets real difficult. So that's pretty crazy. Yes, George, we were in the first issue, so I didn't realise you literally meant the first band to ever be in there twice. Wow, I didn't realise that. That's crazy. Amazing.
Take that.
Glad to take a bit of ERB history there. On our very, very happy with that. Yeah, oh, man, amazing. I just can't believe the support. It's just incredible, mind-blowing.
It really is. It really is. Like every single thank you and every single statement that we make on the subject is entirely sincere and just comes from a place of being somewhat overwhelmed by the response that we've had to the album. Honestly, it's already bigger than we'd ever thought or hoped. It's insane.
Yeah, it is mental. And thank you again. We mean it every time, every word. It just becomes difficult, like you said, Will, to sound or to become sincere. It's like, how do you continue to be so appreciative? Hopefully some of the Blacklist things that we've done recently in letters and signatures and other stuff does demonstrate our appreciation to everyone.
And on that note, if anyone has received a signed copy of the album and they're upset that we defaced it, you can send it back and we'll send you a plain one.
Or just get like a half price discount, like get a $5 off because you scribbled on it.
Yeah, we'll refund you and you can keep it because technically we've ruined it by defacing it.
Although looking at Dylan's handwriting, I'd say it's worth another 20 quid. It's beautiful. He's like a calligrapher. It's just phenomenal. People just I don't know. Yeah, it's awful. No one's as good as it.
I was thinking about the top bundles for the GoFundMe had handwritten lyrics in them, and I was thinking about outsourcing that to someone with nice writing, just so we can.
Yeah. A group of monkeys in a room with a typewriter. You mean?
Yeah. That's us, isn't it? That's how we write our music.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say as well. This session is literally impromptu live, so I think we might be recording it, but I'm not so sure. But it certainly won't be on YouTube tonight or anything. So if you're here now, you're getting it in a way that nobody else is going to get later. I mean, it may come out tomorrow or the next couple of days, but
it's not going to be available for replay until after the album is dropped. And by after the album is dropped, I mean after I wake up tomorrow, which, depending on how much rum I have, could be any time.
As digitally tragic as it is, it's one of those you have to be there moments. And look, you're here,
woo!
Because everyone else won't get it live in the same way it'll be. The album will already be out by the time other people have appreciated that. So
crazy thought.
Absolutely.
Right, I think we need.
Play the record.
We should play the record. Now, what I'm going to need is a little bit of audience participation, because the way that this is set up is that I will hit play on the music. I won't be able to hear the music. I will have to assume that it's playing at a level that we can talk over comfortably. If we are drowned out by the music or the music is too quiet, it would be really appreciated if the chat just blew up with either sentiment.
Higher or lower.
Yeah, just shout higher and lower and we will know what you want. So we'll kick things off with the opening track on the album. A little bit of Exordium. Those of you who've been watching the Blacklist for a while will be familiar with this bit of music.
Or snippets of it, certainly.
So, my software reliably tells me that Exordium is playing now.
I'm going to turn up my YouTube on phone in a minute, hang on.
This is all very technical.
It is very technical. I can't hear anything yet, wait there. Oh, we're delayed, so I don't know. I can't hear Exordium yet, so I can't hear. We have a sort of vague plan what we're going to do.
How delayed are you, Scott? It sounds like you're at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm actually on Blacklist 3.
You got to play catch up. You got to watch the whole thing in sequence, otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Loud and clear. Kaz says I can hear the music and your voices.
Oh well, that works then. I guess I got it right.
Positive. That's really
Check
good.
me out.
Yeah.
Well, if it changes throughout the evening, then let us know, and we can make amends to the volume, the levels of different things. James, you look like you're trying to make me feel sick. A little bit of motion sickness going on. So yeah, this is Exordium. I think we've pretty much talked over the entire thing by just trying to talk about the sound levels.
That's okay though, because Dav, I might be joining us shortly. Hopefully, that's a Dav Fuller production. But yeah, I think I love it. It's really cool to open sets. Opens the Blacklist, and it's a good call to arms. I think.
I like the vinyl record noise at the beginning when you first hear those little scratches, and just it kind of instantly makes me think of like all the cool imagery and like, you know, just the stuff that I always wanted to create as a band when I was younger. I know the music stopped. I know we will go on to Avarice in a second. Don't worry, Superhands. We will get there.
He DJ Superhands like, give me the music, man. Give me the music, loving that. Yeah, we will set track 1 or track 2, track 1. I don't know.
I guess technically Avarice track 2 is.
Yeah, technically.
So let's play that now. And again, if it's too loud or quiet, do let me know, and I will amend as we go. So what do we want to say about Avarice, guys?
There's a lot to say about Avarice, but I have a lot. Dylan, James, your potential, your take on Avarice. We probably haven't even kicked it up the drums yet, but it's coming.
It was just one of those where, yeah, I was going to say it's a banger. As soon as that riff started, it was, yeah, this is going to be massive. We've got to put this right to the front of the album, and yeah, I still want to hear a Cash sign that you'll say something. No, unfortunately, I didn't get my way. The magic change is brilliant.
As far as I know, pass a good front of the in the house. Can I start wrapping it down? No, it's just like musical chairs completely fine.
Thanks, Claire. I turned it up a little bit based on your feedback. Turn it up!
But I think, I'm not sure, the last one we played for the album.
Avarice wasn't even on the record until the last minute. There was another song.
It was like, I've always felt more I needed something, upbeat, soul, just absolute, total natural sort of beginning. And it wasn't coming, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've got it.
Avarice!
So it was the last one to get out, and it was always the first one to get the first track on that. There's the last one to finish with. Hey, it's in as well. Good message.
I love cause we've been living with these tracks for a while, and it's so exciting to know that some people have just heard these for the first time today.
I know it's about
Like, and even people who've seen us live recently and seen some of these songs live, they're not the same. Like, you know, it's a different representation of the same song. It's really exciting to, you know, see Black Sunshine saying, "Oh my, I'm digging it." Like, of course, it kind of slipped my mind that she hadn't heard this before. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, what time is it? I don't know what time it is in the US. I'm on the East Coast, maybe what, midday-ish? 11 a.m. maybe in the morning, what, 6 hours behind-ish? I think so. It's going to be, early afternoon or late morning anyway. But yeah, so it won't be out there for another half a day. And you've heard it a bit already, which is pretty cool.
Dave says, so you had too many songs for this album, ... save them for the next. Do not worry. we have a... All I think we should say at this point is that there won't be as long a wait for album 2, and now I've gone and cursed it. There'll be like some other global pandemic or, you know, biblical flood or.
So, that's 100% that we do have what we feel hopefully is another bunch of songs that are equally as strong. Or maybe it's difficult, isn't it? Because when you love a band and if you love the debut album, maybe hopefully it won't be a disappointment. Album 2, definitely there's some similarities, but there's also some difference. So I wouldn't expect the same record again necessarily, but it's equally strong, but in a different way.
I'll tell you what, if you like your K-pop, you will love album 2.
Yeah, absolutely. If you love Britney Spears, Blue and Westlife, this is the record for you. I tell you what, Black Lakes Go K-pop stroke boy band.
I think what's fair though is that we're always a band who kind of leave or wear our influences on our sleeve, and album 2 is going to be very much more of the same. More of us showing you our influences, doing it in our way, you know.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think we're trying to do anything with the record other than to make more Blacklist. Any agenda or anything like, oh, we better make this type of record. That's not happening. We're just like, wow, that's a banger. On it goes. You know what I mean? But this sounds nothing like that one. Don't care. On it goes. Yeah.
Well, I think that we've done. I think we've set out our stall and said that we're not. You know, we've never said, oh, that doesn't sound like Black Lake, so we're not going to do it. We've just done the music we want to do, and if it has some sort of cohesion, then that's awesome. And that is how people get badly let down.
Why not? I do think there's one album stuff. Funny enough, there's probably at least 2, if not 3 or 4 that haven't quite made that one. They're probably potentially good to get just fictions that we don't know. So I'm sure we'll do something with the ones that were perhaps left behind.
So I've jumped the gun. I started playing Dissident a little while ago. Maybe a minute and 20 seconds ago I started playing Dissident. So Kaz was just saying love the riff in this song. I think this is in practice. If we play something badly or we're frustrated because we can't really nail something out to where we want it to be, we come back and play Dissident because it just picks us all back up, and I call it our comfort food. Because it's just the song that we can just all go, right, Dissident mode, ba 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 ba. Just everything falls back into place. We're re-leveled and we start again on trying to tackle the difficult parts of other songs. So for me, Dissident, that's where Dissident sits. It's got a very special place in my heart on this album.
It's I would say that I do like very much. I consider it like your favourite go-to piece. We're like, that's the really song. What is that? That's the best part. Funny enough, I'm just it's a while ago. All the music of it's not again, it's one of those ones where you're like, So it seems to it's just, I don't know, it's hard to, it sounds weird, I didn't even like consider this a song. It's so weird.
Does that mean we have to start introducing it as a cover? It's also the first song that we did a proper music video for in the album. A very long time ago now, thanks to COVID and all sorts of things that happened in between. But that was a fun day shooting that video.
We didn't have the same membership. No, but not only that, but some people that are on the recording of that track and not in the video. You know what I mean? We're still very much in that transit period. So it was before the proper Blacklist got established.
It's 5 of us in that video, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, it seems to be popular. It seems to be not number one favourite, but the best to train. Nice stuff.
Interesting to see what people's views about on it. From the album, there's anything that's popular or something supplants Dissident and someone else's favourite song.
Amazing. I think we should do that at the end. So Blacklist, when we get to the end, it's like, what's the one thing you remember the most or sticks out for you? after listening through. George wants us to stop talking so we can bootleg it. So,
he's got the old set thing going.
You know, you could always listen to your wife's copy of the album, George. You really don't have to go to these lengths.
Did you not read though? He said that Clay wouldn't let him listen to it.
But it's out at midnight, so if he's good, you might be able to stay up and listen.
Oh, you got a few hours. You got a few hours to go. Oh, James, can't hear what you're saying, mate. According to Claire.
Right. Okay.
You need to speak up. Enunciate, boy.
Yeah. There we are.
Dylan's got his mic off. My mic's on. Hi.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue. I don't know.
We'll make sure we're all quiet when James is speaking, Claire. For you. Has this been finished yet? By the way, I have no idea.
Yes, it has. I'm going to move on.
Right.
Moving on to fragments.
Fragments.
Wow.
So, what sticks in my mind about this one? I had the opening riff, and it deliberately didn't finish it. To take it to the room to go, right, okay, you've got a riff like it's really cool. I deliberately not finished it to see what you guys think, and then, and it was actually...
He absolutely ruined it.
Yeah. So,
It's the last time you ever tried that approach.
See how funny that song is. Definitely one of them that's got the most taking notes. You know what I mean? It's like the James got a dad in there, got a Will in there, and obviously Dylan joined that one just then. But there's a real melting pot for all sorts of stuff. So it's incorrect. We almost had more going towards the system of the down vibe, especially in the melody. Chorus, and to be very much. I remember it really well. I don't remember that.
I remember that we were working for a long time on a very different chorus, and it had a quite a system-esque like harmony. I can't remember how it went, but it was very different. You know, that's the journey, isn't it?
It's also once again it's like we've got control of everything at home. They're pretty great to make that. It was one of those ones that I suppose fragments close to definitely. Yeah, that's the bridge. But not definitely. Definitely was the one with the close. And then when they were recording, it was like, oh, it's got the silence. Fragments. But actually, when I recorded fragments, they got like, it got voiced up.
Yeah, it did.
It just came out crazy. It just been up the void and somehow came out totally powerful. More than we expected.
Have you got any? Claire wants to know if you got previous versions of songs. Claire, in a lovers' tiff that Scott and I had the other day, I threw it in his face that we've still got the original version of the Divide with its original title in the Dropbox.
I can go back to the very first album and then see what did the time,
So don't get me wrong, I absolutely love archiving everything. At the moment, it comes at the expense of space in the Dropbox.
That's really kind. That's amazing.
What's that, being blown away when it came out?
Yeah,
that's very
cool. Also did hear that. Well, nice. Yeah, I'm sure we'll yeah, it's always fascinating. I'm similar to you. I like hearing bands and their embryonic versions of songs and things.
You know what?
The original Vista doesn't sound anything like it. think it was called Evident at that point. I think.
Yeah.
Evident, yeah.
It was a totally the core of the song is still there, but it's a lot longer and it's a lot like why are we doing that? That doesn't make any sense. But
I think
the demo-
these early working demos are exactly the kind of thing that we set up the Blacklist for.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
we can look at sharing knives or something.
Yes.
£5.
£5. Swear jar.
Well,
Yes.
we're having issues where people can only hear you when the music is playing.
Ooh.
Nice.
Is that a message?
Okay. That
I don't
causes
know
some
if that's the
problem.
same for everybody.
I don't know. I can't. If I turn up the feed now, hang on.
What
Yeah,
is-
the music's quite loud. You can tell that people are talking, but no one can hear them because the song's so loud.
Claire told me to turn them up. She was just trying to drown us out.
They couldn't hear James earlier then.
Claire,
So
is this some sort of devious sabotage?
I'm crazily gesticulating, but all you can hear is "I will not fade into." It's just blasting away with distant.
Okay, so maybe we come down a bit with the volume on these.
Unfortunately, so it seems. So yeah, what track are we on to? I can't hear anyone but Will very loud, but I'm watching lips moves and picking up most of it. Wow, impressive lip reading there, George.
That's like some little subtle brag, George. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, turn the awful music down, Will, and make sure you turn up us gas bagging about nothing. Yeah.
Well, I swear, if at any point any of us decide with more than 20 minutes to go that we're going to get on a live stream, we could probably set this up properly and actually get the audio sorted so that I could see and hear what's going on. But as it is, that's very difficult. I think the issue I've got is that if I change the microphone settings so that you guys are coming through the sound card and not through the microphone, I might get a weird feedback loop for people watching it live. I can try it. If I break it.
don't break it, Will. Don't break it.
The next track is Verity, isn't it? So you know, that one's already available, which is good. So we can still play it. But you know, as a track goes to experiment on, Verity doesn't seem like it's a terrible one to be fiddling with audio for.
Okay, so I've just switched the mics so that you should now be coming direct.
Okay.
And if I play Verity now,
Let's see what happens.
people can tell me that it's an absolute car crash of noise. Let's see what happens, shall we?
It's echoing.
Ah!
No, it's echoing now, just gone quiet. Yeah. Sorry, well, that doesn't seem to work. But it's alright when the crowd say rewind, we can go back to the start of Verity and put it on again.
It's alright, Verity's running. I've put the mic settings back to how they were. Meat raffle.
Could you give... We need to give Lee some tech support.
Yeah.
Is he trying to join?
He's trying to join.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if we can sort him out. He's trying to join.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Please feel free to get ice cream or canapes while we have this small intermission. Let's see if on the Blacklist. He's trying to join.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Seconds away. Sorry, guys. Please.
Cut. I'm gonna call it. I on the album. A very long time ago now. Like, thanks to. It does sound like the songs were playing a little bit loudly there. Has to be said.
Yeah, indeed. So we can turn them down a bit. It's a bit fine.
Oh, right. Done.
What room are we in? We're in the hangout. Is it called?
That's it.
We'll get this right one day, Kaz. I mean, I could present wearing my headphones, but I don't want to ruin my hair.
That's why I got the hat on, brother.
And me.
Too late. It's already ruined.
Yeah, exactly. It is there. Look. Oh, the hair is there.
Some hat hair, brother.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get the other members of the band to join us and not be able to be heard over blaring versions of our songs as well.
Hey man, I mean, I'd rather listen to blaring versions of our songs than us.
Yeah, but God, what the hell that is.
So Verity in Flames is playing at the moment. I think everyone's probably familiar with this track right now, as it's our new single. It should have Claire. That's amazing. She told us to turn it up because she's never hearing aids in.
Is that true? Is that actually true, Claire?
Yeah, I'm sure it actually is true.
Okay.
So yeah, Verity was our single to say, hey, wake up people, we're back. We've been away a while, but we're back with the single to let you know the album's coming. It's got an absolutely awesome music video. We just haven't been able to shoot it yet.
Haven't filmed it yet.
Great location.
It's got an absolutely fantastic location. Believe me, when we scouted it, the weather was unbelievably perfect for what we were going for. It's just not been perfect since, thanks to storm this, rain that.
Storm Lionel Blair.
It's
Storm
very difficult.
Force. Millions of them, and it's just been horrendous the last few weeks. But yeah, it's been that bad. But yeah, I remember Verity. I think in terms of the track order so far, I may be wrong, but I think that's the one that's got most of you on, Dill, because obviously it's one of the last ones to go on the record.
Verity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a good bit of you on there, I think.
Yeah, there is. It's not the first time I ever appeared, mind.
No, I mean on the order of the album so far.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I
my
think you're on. Are you on Fragments? Or maybe you are.
Yes.
No.
That's the first time I ever appeared.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they had to redo a section, if you remember.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. Yeah, well remembered. Right, can't hear the music, but I love that song. Storm Claire, nice.
We'll get there eventually. We'll find the ultimate balance between...
Yeah. Or maybe, Claire suggested that we play the track and then discuss it, maybe.
But then we all just have to sit here like lemons for like 3 or 4 minutes each time.
A long time then, that's the only thing. Lee, yo!
Show us your face.
Come on, Lee.
Turn your camera on
The
there.
animal.
Put the one with your camera on and you'll be there. So you know the blacklists that we plan, even though they seem like a great train wreck, they're a lot more organised than this one, which we really didn't plan that much. But as George said, wouldn't be as entertaining if it was all slick and smooth, would it?
You know what I'm enjoying about this is that our little drummer boy said, I'll be good by 8, so we decided on 8.
Yeah.
Where is he?
I'll be a little bit late. It's 33 minutes later. Verity in Flames has been stuck in my head all day, specifically the Noble as She's Burning bit.
Can I share that thing with George, please?
What thing?
You can. Yeah. What? You mean the fact that you've ruined the song? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So during the recording process of Verity in Flames, and as Will was singing, and he's got a fantastic style.
Hey.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Dav and I picked up that as Will sings "Noble as She's Burning," it sounded like noble ashes. Like, sorry, noble ashes today, mate.
But that, like, Balashi's doesn't even mean anything.
I know. You so had to be there. Out of context, it makes no sense.
But you watch now when we perform Verity in Flames live. Every single time when we get to the chorus, I'll be grinning because that stupid thing goes in my head where I sing no Balashi's.
Yeah. The one that sticks in my mind is is obviously again going back to Claire, the demos and the embryonic versions of songs. There was a section in there that used to have a line that was drowning in the flames.
Oh yeah.
It was particularly 90s, I think, and awesome in a good way. And a number of us were on board, but yeah, there were others in the band that got really upset by that line, so it didn't make the final cut. So
It sounds like a Russian coffee shop. No Balashi's. It's the Russian version of Central Perk, I think.
I would say everyone needs to learn Russian now. We might as well. It's only coming this way, comrade. You know what I mean?
Comrade.
Official. Can you hear us okay, Lee, by the way? I know you're on the video. Yeah, perfect, okay. We just welcome to the Kobalashi Cafe.
Nice.
Yeah, we're just we're playing the tracks in the background and struggling terribly to get the right volume levels. So far, either you could hear the tunes and not us, or you could hear us and not the tunes. So we're still looking for a medium ground.
So we've
Like
another shot with your latte.
Best Russian accent if I can. Would you like a shot? Oh, no, that's terrible. My comrade, would you like a shot of Novichok with your latte?
You sounded like the most Welsh Russian I've ever met.
That's a drink, isn't it? Welsh Russian, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
If it isn't, we should make one. No
Welsh
tracks.
Russian.
Music.
Yeah.
Do you mean a white Russian, Scott?
No, Welsh Russian, mate.
Welsh.
It's made with soy milk.
Yes, vodka and Penderyn.
It's
Welsh cake crumbled in it.
I was going to go with vodka and cheese, like, you know what I mean? Welsh rarebit, vodka and cheese.
Dave asks, do you do the lyrics first or the music? It's normally music, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's not necessarily intentional. It depends on the songs too, because some songs you have a melody already in your mind, and then some songs Will has an entire sort of idea of the lyrics before, or but yeah, they merge in the middle. We don't deliberately go, right, we've got the lyrics, now let's write the music.
Here he is.
It's a full house, 6 of 6.
Fuller's house.
Fuller's house.
Yeah, oh, I see what you did there. So yeah, it does vary, but in general, we usually have most of the music, and then we sit down and start writing the lyrics to that music, and then that in turn changes the structure of the song and the order of the song and things. So yeah, are we playing something, Will?
Yeah, the Divide is. I was about to say the Divide's playing right now, so people may or may not actually hear a word you're saying.
Alright, fine.
But like we said, this is potentially a live-only broadcast, so no one has to. It's an experience, if nothing else.
Exactly. Crumb's Divide, probably the first song. Well, in fact, I think, as far as I know, the first song we ever really finished as a band. I think certainly one of the easier, earlier songs. I think I know we put a lot of time and effort into it, but it did seem to get finished smoother than say Ghosts or a few others did, as I remember anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's
It's the song we sent to Ramesh that picked his ears up to us. So
yeah.
So we tricked him. We tricked him with a rock song, and then went in and did a load of metal.
Yeah, absolutely. Balance with the music and talk perfect now. I can hear both. Lovely. I can actually hear him better if that helps. Nice. So everyone seems to be able to hear just fine. Will, don't change the audio. And if you haven't noticed, Lee has joined us and Davith has joined us as well. Although I think Davith is slamming your tea, so he's chowing down. What are you chomping, bud? You got anything good?
Muted.
No. Yeah, food. He's got food. It's a Welsh Russian. Volume is right. Can hear both. Okay.
I can't hear Daft. Can you guys hear Daft?
I
Are
can't
you on
hear
mute, Davith? You need to sort your audio settings. Yeah, 1 second. Anybody else remember anything about the Divide in terms of the recording process or the song or?
Yeah, I remember all of it.
Yeah. I bet you do. I think we
one of the first tracks that we did, isn't it?
Mhm.
Well,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
First demo that we released online as well.
Yeah, it was. So if you were really, really, really there at the beginning, which is unlikely but possible.
We released it at midnight on New Year's Eve into New Year's Day.
Yeah, not 2019 or 18.
Yes.
I remember a while ago. So yeah, there's a version of that came out online that wasn't even the finished recorded version. So if you do your good at your internet scrolling, you may even still be able to find it.
I was going to say, just speak to George. He's got it on cassette somewhere.
He's bootlegging it. Don't touch it now. It's perfect. Yeah, stop playing with yourself, Bob. You cracked it, boys. Nice. Remember hearing this on Down the Front podcast and being blown away. Oh, Claire, that's kind. You remember it from Down the Front days. I remember those days too.
DTF, yeah.
Is the Divide the track that you get the most headbangers nodding to? Oof.
No, I don't think so. I think more people tend to go for Dissident.
Yeah, I think people respond more to the headbangingness of Dissident, and maybe a little bit of Verity now as well.
Yeah.
Than in the breakdown, certainly than the Divide.
It went down well on Friday, didn't it? The Divide seemed to go down really well.
Yeah, it's a really good song, and I don't know. In my mind, it's one of those things like, yeah, this should get streamed more than it does, but it's probably just because been a while ago, so
Yeah.
I'm sure if we released it now, it would have a different impact. But yeah, it's a weird thing of letting go of them. It's like, well, that was that, it's done, it's been, it's gone, that was it was out. I bet we're coming up with the title though, because it was called something else for a very long time. As you may have gathered from earlier, we had to invoke a £5 Blacklist swear jar for people using the working title to get used to calling it the new name. So yeah, it was previously called Knives, and it took a long time to shift that out of everyone's mind. Although I can't imagine calling it anything other than the Divide now, really.
No. And on that note, the Divide has come to an end. So the next track on the album, possibly my favourite, is Landslide. So
Wow, nice.
Start
This
that
will
one
be
off
one
now.
people haven't heard.
Yeah.
The first one I ever wrote on.
Yes. This was one of the sort of last ones on the album. But yeah, much more representative, I think, of the six of us now. If you like, it's a much more representative song of where we're at now, which is good. And like Will, definitely one of my favourites, if not top three. But again, in the band, it's newer, so it's going to feel...
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, this song's been on an insane journey. Like this, the demo for this is the song that you sent me when you said, would you like to come and meet us and potentially sing with us? Like, and it was the song that I first heard and was like, oh yeah, this is ace. This is exactly the kind of music that I want to be making. But that demo is so different to where it is now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's harsh, man. I like the original.
I know. Yeah, one of the first songs we'd actually started lyrically with like a story in mind, you know, and you know, imagining, you know, a certain context and playing that context out in a song.
I would say that I'm far prouder of where it's ended up than where it was.
Oh yeah, it was still good though. Yeah,
absolutely, it's all part of the journey. It's just incredible, really, where it's ended up. It's beyond where I thought it would be. I think I mentioned this on a previous Blacklist, but what Dab did on the drums and what Dill did on the lead guitar and what Will did with the vocals, it just, oh my god, it went above and beyond where I thought that track would be. And you are right though, Will, you have had that main core of the song for a long time, so to speak. We got a question from Dave. How do you decide what song goes where so it flows telling your story?
We argue for hours on end. We all lose a lot of blood.
It's very polite, generally. Yeah, it's pretty well balanced.
There's a lot of passion in this band, and with passion comes the conviction.
Yeah, but also I think that everyone, so far anyway, in the reviews have all commented on how the album flows and tells the story, and all the tracks are in the right place. So I think without thrashing it out...
Lucked out there, didn't we?
What's that, sorry?
I said we lucked out there, didn't we?
Well, yeah, not that we didn't spend hours and hours planning it. So yeah, it was a very, very long-winded process, Dave, to decide which tracks went where and why. Some are more obvious, like Avarice, it feels like it should open pretty quickly. The title track felt like it should be at the end. And then in between is where a lot of the debate and the difficulty comes. But hopefully we've got it about right in terms of new stuff, old stuff as well, because we're conscious that people coming to the band now may have only heard the original 6 or 7 singles, and we didn't want to have like all the old stuff, here's all the new stuff, so we wanted to make sure it was interspersed. So yeah, thankfully, I think the album does a better job than Friday Night. We went a bit up and down on Friday. I think I was a bit like, oh, maybe this isn't quite in the right order, but I think on the album it does feel to flow. It'll sort of flow quite well. Everyone says they're waiting for it to blow up on radio, which is crazy, as in the album.
I'd like that to happen, but
it would be lovely. Yeah.
To be honest, if we get no further reaction to the album than what we've already had, I'd still be insanely grateful. Honestly, it's been incredible.
Yeah, and everything is just not a bonus, but you know what I mean. It's all been incredible up to now. It just keeps getting more bigger than the reaction to it, which is just awesome, humbling, awe-inspiring that people really want to listen to it and enjoy the music. Which is incredible.
Oh, someone's just bought the album. That's nice.
Oh. That was nice. Only 5 more copies to go, and we can eat this week. It might be a bit too Kerrang for Wyatt. Funnily enough, George. Yeah, I believe
that's what Wyatt told us.
Well, yeah, not only use those words, but also I think because now the album's out, I think there's a better overall view of the band I think early on with some of the original and earlier songs, there was kind of this idea that we were perhaps just like one type of band, as in we just rock, or we just ballads, or we just this. Whereas now there's a better flavour of the whole element. I think a lot of people are starting to say, actually, you're much better fit to crying, much better fit at download. And we're more that slightly edgier metal side, I suppose. I think, which is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's where we want to be. And I love how we can go straight from talking about how edgy and metal we are into track 8, Ghosts of Our Memories.
Yeah.
There's nothing more metal than someone going.
Hey, that was your idea. The riff was there, and you were like, "What about this?" It was like, "Yeah, wicked."
Do you remember we had like a mosh bit and a circle bit happening to this song?
Yes.
Yes, we did. The most ironic. Yeah, forget these bands that go on about having the biggest circle pits and the world-breaking size for circle pits. We've got the most ironic ones, and that's what matters most.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got ironic post ones. So, hammer down, let's get you on. Yeah, bring it on. It needs to blow up so I can get my US tour. Absolutely.
That'll be insane.
I will. You have been with us, supporting us amazingly. So I will. Everything that is within our power. If they say go to the US, Massachusetts will be on. Then send us the venue.
I love it. These promoters are gonna be like, "Why do you want to play Massachusetts? Why would we not want to play Massachusetts?"
Yeah, why would we not want to play?
Every UK band dreams of playing Massachusetts, right?
Although, to be fair, I don't think it's that far from New York, relatively speaking. I flipping love this song, Thanks Black Sunshine. I still think this is one of my favourites. Couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's the ooze.
I don't want to know about your ooze, mate.
For me personally, I think again it's Dav's drums. The song was also, well, I say that's unfair. The riff was there relatively. Without James's melody, it wouldn't be anything of what it is. That's all James's melody. It's amazing. And then Dav did something insane on the drums that I didn't have in my mind before he did it. I'm like, that sounds amazing. And then it just sort of came together. I think it's a very polished song.
Really cool question from Superhands. Does Ramesh have much influence on the creative side of the recordings, or were the structures of the tunes already sorted and he mainly made them sound huge? Now, me being the least musically gifted person in the band in terms of having any understanding about how music works, I would say more the latter. He definitely took what we had and made it sound huge. He's very good at subtly influencing little changes. But like I said earlier, we're a band with some strong will and some strong characters who aren't afraid of telling Ramesh that he's wrong. Look, you Grammy nominated wrong producer. We've got a vision, don't you know? We're artists. So I mean, there was a bit of give and take. I think generally speaking, the first 3 tracks we worked on Ramesh with are probably the ones that he had the most influence on, because we were a bit more like, this is Ramesh and like he's amazing and we need to listen and take on board what he says. And then I think we came out of those first 3 thinking we probably wouldn't have done this quite like this, or we would have changed this if we had the chance. And then we went back in for the next 3 tracks, we were kind of like a little bit more confident to say actually we want to leave it how it is, or you know. And then for the last 5 songs, I mean, we had to do most of that ourselves, and then Ramesh did all the mixing. So for the most part, he didn't have the chance to influence because we weren't under his feet at that point. He was, COVID changed the game a little bit for finishing the album.
Yeah, nor did we want him to or let him. Ramesh is like, oh, this. We're like, nah, put it back to where it was, please. Put it back to the demo, please.
Yeah.
Send that back, please. No, put that back in, please.
We gave him the demos, we recorded with him, and then he sends us the mix, and we go, yeah, you know that bit we did on the demo? And he goes, I'll send you an updated mix later.
He's been very patient with us.
Yes, he has.
No, Ramesh is awesome, to be fair. And I think it's fair to say, because it's a really good question, there's a couple of moments where we got to the point where it's like, do you know what? The camps were so entrenched, we're like, we'll just go in and let Ramesh decide. So Ramesh, some of us think this, some of us think that. You're the arbitrator, you decide what happens, and then nobody needs to discuss that.
Yeah.
So that was, sometimes Ramesh was able to bring an outside opinion that enabled that to be smoothed over. But I would say I would say that 99. Well, maybe that's a bit strong. Maybe 98% of the song is the same. Like structurally going into Ramesh's coming out, it just sounds very different. Ramesh just has like major outboard roids that just goes and it just sounds roided up.
He knows exactly how to make it sound big, doesn't he?
Steroided as like huge, just makes it sound big. Come to France first, it's closer. I'm alright with that. We can get to France in a ferry, don't even have to fly. We can go to France. And in fact, we should have a gig off. There we go, like right, duke it out, where the Black Ladies come first. France or Massachusetts? I'll go to both.
I mean, yeah, well, I'm easy. I'll do both. So I've started Death Throne up.
Okay, cool.
Just so you know that. Speaking of sounding big, one of my favourite riffs on the album.
Definitely, I love
our bread and butter.
I love a bit of Death Throne.
I'm curious, when you write your music or lyrics and put them together, do you ever think that some parts would go better in other songs once they've been put together? Oh, I love this song. Thanks, Kaz. Yeah, that's a really good question, Kirsty. They are, I guess, when they're in an earlier stage, musically anyway, if I'm talking about the music for a second, there are certainly bits where you go, oh, actually, I could reuse that riff, or that riff would be better in this song, but that tends to be quite early on, relatively. So, if you've got like two okay songs going, and all of a sudden you go, oh, what if I put that bit with that bit? Oh my god! And then all of a sudden this better song has appeared out of two bits from other places.
Mm-hmm.
But once sort of the main demo is there, they don't necessarily tend to change much. But I think we're quite lucky as a band because obviously Dav writes, Dylan writes, James writes, I write, Lee writes. So
I can't write. I never learned to write.
I never learned to read. But you do write, but I was going to say the same thing lyrically. You might want to have a different comment, but it's similar in terms of some lyrical ideas. You think, oh, that passage or that melody will go, actually, if we reuse that view or...
Oh, yeah, I think you can write, like, 100 lines and then go through it, and you know straight away if you've written something that you just think that's I really like that line, like that line. And it might not actually end up fitting the song, but they all go into various notebooks that we have lying around, and then if we're stuck in a different song and we know that we need something to hit, we can go through the notebooks and we say, is there anything that we've previously come up with that actually would serve the purpose?
Sure. I mean, to give you some idea, I've got probably over 300 song titles on my phone, just song titles, just of like, this would be a cool name for a song, this would be a cool name for a song, and then similarly there are hundreds of riffs, demos, full tracks, bits in between, and I'm sure, in fact I know James and Will are the same lyrically. They've got books of lyrics, passages, sections, whole bits, and I don't know about you, Dan, but that's certainly how I tend to work.
James has got pages and pages of good names for soups. Sorry, Daff, I talked over you. What were you going to say?
I just keep everything on the Mac. Yeah, if it's crap, get rid of it.
Dr. DeLeo.
Dav's must Mr. Delito, Dr. Delito, yeah. Less of an archivist, more of a the next thing's better. And to be fair, if Daz shares something, you're like, this is going to be awesome, because he's just chosen to share it. Doesn't really share things at an early stage.
Speaking about keeping everything on the Mac, if you want to buy the latest issue of ERB magazine, and if you want to flip to page 32, which I'm struggling to find.
Where Dav confesses
where
using the bloody Mac.
Where the quote at the bottom here is about how effectively one of us in the band, naming no names, lost the album because we didn't.
It wasn't me.
Didn't back it up, and it was on a Mac that never came home after a night of heavy drinking. So if you want to read all about that and how we actually managed to amazingly get the album back, please do check out the latest issue of ERB magazine.
To be fair, it wasn't Dav's fault. He was drunk and in charge of a Mac, which is never a good thing. Wow, I'm trying to catch up with all this. There's so many comments tonight. I think my favourite one changes every day. Next track is my favourite now I've heard it. So I assume Mandy means whatever's coming after Death Row, which I guess is I don't know, was it Break the Silence? What are we playing? What are we playing?
Break the Silence, yeah, let's play that right now.
Okay. And then it is Susie for sure. I agree, Susie. I love everything I've heard so far. I'm sure I'll love the ones I haven't heard too. I had to pull that out.
Yeah, I know. George just says, haha, I had to pull that out. out of context, George, when watching a live stream, that kind of comment can get you banned. Oh, hi, Pan.
So this is the 7th member of Blacklist. There are actually 15 in total. This is Pan of the Wild.
Pan. Best vocalist in the band, that dog.
Absolutely. Although what I like about Pan, he doesn't do a lot of crotch sniffing, which from a dog I appreciate. Like, you know, certain dogs like this.
Get enough of that from James, don't you?
Like, don't sniff that. Yeah, I get it from James. But go James' house. Pan is nice and polite. He doesn't do a lot of crotch sniffing, which I appreciate. Oh, that story.
James, on the other hand.
Yeah, James loves to enjoy it. Anyway, we should talk about Break the Silence.
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah.
It was interesting what Guy said about that. Guy B saying that he felt it should be like, oh, expecting it to be early as a single. It hadn't even crossed my mind to put Break the Silence on like as one of the first 2 or 3. Not for me anyway. I don't know about you guys, but it always felt like a nice number 8 or number 9.
And then we put it at number 10.
Well, the time we released it was apt, wasn't it? It worked really well at that time.
Yeah, it wasn't the plan, as I'm sure we talked about at the time. Break the Silence was never supposed to come out then, but obviously we were just all in the early throes of pandemia and going, right, we're locked down. Oh my God, what do we do? Well, I suppose we better release one of these songs, and that seemed to fit perfectly. But yeah, it seems to be some people's favourite, which is amazing to me. I'm genuinely pleased about that. It's nice. You forget almost. Like, you're so busy doing, like, what's the next song? I need to finish that, and then you go back and go, yeah, maybe Break the Silence is a bit of a bang, actually. Maybe it's all right after all. Oh wow! So Will has a stupid range. So you know, I can sing ish occasionally in like one area. Will somehow can go roar, which I can't do, and also go which I can do a little bit more. But yeah, he's got everything in between as well, which is irritatingly talented.
Next album, I'm telling you, we got to do some very low.
I was going to say, what I want is like a whole like Axl Rose song where you do the whole. That'd be amazing. All low Will. That'd be awesome. I love that.
You see, all you need to do, Scott, is just not be there when we're recording Will, because
That's
what
true.
happens is you leave and then
Magic
Bohemian Rhapsody happens. No, just Bohemian Rhapsody and Layers of Will happen.
George asks, how many octaves do I have? George, that's a very personal question, mate. I'm not prepared to answer that live to the world.
Yeah, you can ask him on his OnlyFans.
If you want to see my many octaves, join my Patreon and.
I think it must be at least 3 though, Will, right? You must have at least 3 octaves. I think you're probably at least 3, if not 4.
We'll have to find out. We'll have to do some sort of test.
Well, I know, if you remember going back a long time, there was an amazing singer called Marcella Detroit, and she had a 4-octave voice, and that's really unusual. So I think you've probably got at least 3, but 4 is just that's crazy. Like, God gave you gifts if you have a 4-octave voice. To be fair, Dylan's got a 0-octave voice. Doesn't even get 1. Like, just not 1. Like, I've never heard. Well, I have heard you sing briefly. I think on Friday you were starting to get an ear in. I'd like to have stayed around, and maybe we could have a bit of a sing-song.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
So Dill has testified that he can't sing, but it would be good to hear that.
I think, Susie, just to go to what you were saying about the vocals, if you listen to the last track on the album, Black Days Come, I think the backing vocals that I've done for that are the lowest on the album, anyway.
On the rap. Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, the stitches they could lose. Like, it's the lowest, I think.
Absolutely. It'd be really interesting to. I know Claire. I think I might be wrong, but we did a rendition of Wicked Game with a bit of a mashup of kind of, well. I know some people caught wind of that, although not a lot of people have heard that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you did some good low stuff there, because I'm a massive fan of that song. You know, there's some good Chris Isaac opportunity there, not just the but more the more wicked. Yeah.
Right, we got 2 tracks left. So up next is the title track, guys. So let's stick on for all we've left behind.
Where does the time go?
I know.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's long enough to have got that far into the album.
It's more than long enough. We've been talking for over an hour, and the album's 48 minutes. So.
I was going to say, it's like, have we got a 20-minute record or something? How have we been chatting so long? Yes. Susie's saying, I love the secret song. Sorry for unsecreting in my review.
You're not the only one. I think everybody seemed to unsecret that song straight away.
Yeah, really. It was. We tried to do a secret track, and it was secret up until the point that someone heard the record.
Yeah.
And then the cat was out of the bag, so it's there. But yeah, no, I'm like you. Well, I think probably "For You Left Behind" is one of my favourites on the record. For me personally, at the moment, definitely in the top 3, probably top 1. But I'm always tossing up the Landslide at the moment.
It's a difficult one because I love the song, but I don't feel that it works well live. I don't think it's a live song.
That'd be fascinating to ask the Blacklist now. What do you guys think if you were there on Friday? Do you feel like it came across well live, or would you not play it? So gets me in the feels. Yeah, it's again another song that's was of a certain version, and then Will and Dav and Dylan got hold of it, and then it went somewhere else, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, GB definitely.
He did apologise, and at the 11th hour ask for permission to do so, and we were just like, well, whatever.
He was pretty gushing over it, but which is nice, which is really nice. But yeah, no, "For All You Left Behind." It's amazing that anyone says it gets them in the feels, because that was the intention of the song. It's supposed to be a poignant lament, at the end of the record. So it's very amazing that people are getting the feeling from it that they want. I'd love to hear this live, says Cass. Yeah.
I think maybe we just need to tighten up on it then. I don't know. I didn't feel quite right on Friday. It certainly felt better before now, but it didn't feel
not tight enough.
Is that just you saying we just need to get good?
Well, yeah. I'm just trying to be nice.
I think a number of us were, for various reasons, having difficulties on Friday, either technically, personally, professionally. So yeah, we all had a great time and loved it. But yeah, it would be interesting to see how that sounds when we're all at our peak. I didn't read any of the reviews before, so I did mine. I never do, as I worry about that. What I think when first, I think that's sensible. It's sensible, so you gotta be the same. I know Izzy is like, I need to hear the song. What I'm hearing, it's beautiful. Thank you, Becky. That's kind.
It's very kind.
It was aim to be. I don't think there's too many mellower ones, but I suppose Ghosts and "For You Left Behind" are probably the most, dare I use, emotional. I have to be a little bit careful using the emo term around some of Blacklegs before I get shot, killed, or stabbed in the face. Whereas I'm alright with Will, because Will's like a goth, so he's like more emo than me. So that's safe territory. But yeah, we definitely feel, I think, as a band, definitely, and want to get that across in the music. Oh, Susie said she loved the whole set on Friday. I've never seen someone smile quite so much yet. It was amazing. Every time I was like, oh god, this sounds terrible, I looked at it and Susie was absolutely loving it. I was like, oh, maybe it's not so bad. It was like...
You were like, oh, God bless that deaf woman for coming.
Yeah, I know. It was a bit like, oh, this is like a lighthouse of positivity. I was like scribbling up there, and it's like, oh, she looks like she's having a fabulous time. Let's just carry on, It was, yeah, incredible.
She must have drunk a lot.
Yeah. Has Will got a black parade jacket? Not proper emo. You must have one, Will.
No, I do not, you cheeky mare.
I don't have one either. Do any of you guys?
I used to have a really nice military jacket, but it was UK, like I think it was like a RAF one, like ex-army surplus, but it's a really nice one. It was fitted, like it was just a really nice jacket, and I loved wearing it. And annoyingly, I went to a nightclub in Birmingham called Eddie's Number 8 in its original incarnation, and whilst we were there, obviously you put your stuff in the cloakroom, you go in and you have a good time, and while we were there the lights came on and the songs went off, and they said everyone has to get out, and we were like, no, fuck off, we paid to be here. And they were like, no, seriously, you've got to get out. And then all the fire alarms started going off and there was smoke coming in, and we were like, oh, okay, we actually have to get out. And then the entire nightclub just completely burned to the ground with my coat still inside it. And I was like, "You gotta let me back in there!" And they were just like, "A lot of people's coats are in there, son." So that was some nasty hooded chavvy types deliberately lighting fireworks into the styrofoam tiles in the toilets.
Oh, that was clever of them.
Yeah. I just remember the most overwhelming memory of that night was the fact that there was just however many 100 metalheads that you could have got in that club, all stood around the outside of it, knowing that was their one place that they could be, and it was above this incredible bar called the Gallows, it was amazing in there as well, metal pub, and then Eddie's was above it, and Eddie's collapsed onto Gallows, just ruined the whole thing. But like all these metalheads, and you think they would all be there like absolutely devastated, and they're blocking the fire engines going, "We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn motherfucker." I was just like, this is insane.
Crazy.
I was like, "Let them free, my jacket's in there."
I did. So yeah, that's the jacket was burnt. We'll buy you a military jacket.
I want the Mike M one now that George has said it.
Sure. Isabel asks, "Are you on Bandcamp?" I don't believe we are yet.
No.
We will immediately rectify that based on that. We will get a Bandcamp page going, because I think you can do lots of cool things on Bandcamp and pay for the album, that kind of thing. So we will address that before this album campaign is over. I was in my element. The cider was easy to drink, though. That is good to know. That you were enjoying our fine Welsh hospitality.
Han says it always sounds better out front than it does on stage. That's the annoying thing about playing live. The weird thing about Black Lakes is it's the opposite way around. It always sounds better on stage than it does out front.
Really? You're in a different band, mate, because hopefully it's only good on stage. It wasn't so good to me on stage on Friday, but...
It always sounds good to me on stage.
Yeah, it's because... Well, I have to say the drums sounded amazing on Friday. They were extraordinary. Live is always different. It's about the energy and the connection for me. I agree. We mean it. We definitely mean it on stage, even if maybe we're not always perhaps as technically gifted as we are in the studio at laying it down. Too much adrenaline going through, I think, to always be perfectly precise.
Easy. It's too easy to get carried away, isn't it? Like when you're having too much fun. Like that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just the best front row I've ever seen in my life. It was just immense. I just still in therapy over it. Really, still in therapy.
We got one last song to play from the album. So shall I put it on?
Definitely. The not so secret track. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've told the story of this song a few times on the Blacklist. So. In the nicest possible way, don't have any energy to tell that story again. got nothing left.
Go back and watch the last Blacklist, I guess.
Yeah. No, you can't beat live music. I agree. So,
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's good to get it on there though. I do think it's a representation of again all of our different influences on this record. I think, and this is an example of us at one end, and I think Avarice at the start of the record is an example at the other, and I like the fact that it bookends it in two completely different ways.
Yep.
When you go on that journey, it's like, onslaught at the beginning and more, reflective, lamenting songs at the end, which is cool. Oh,
yeah, I really enjoyed this because it was one of those moments where we got to experiment with Will's voice as an instrument. And layering upon layering upon layering, and just using his voice as the instrument to create this really thick texture and flowing texture. And yeah,
completely agree. I mean, I remember that the Black Days Come melody after the middle eight was it was originally in my mind as an alternative melody. It's like, I think we should do this instead, not as well as, and then it just some melody together. It was a real. I just remember that song was it was originally in my mind as an alternative melody. It's like, I think we should do this instead, not as well as.
Yeah, it almost had this mastodon vibe, didn't it?
Yeah. Whereas we eventually settled on the more straight, the straight rendition of it, which is good. I think it does. Like you, I'm really proud of that song. It's a cool song. One hopefully a good one for the summer festivals. I feel. If we can get that right for Wildfire, I think it'd be quite cool.
Definitely.
Again, thank you, Susie. That's very kind. She's saying it's awesome. Yeah, we've definitely, I would say it's definitely the only chorus like that on the album. You know, it's got a type of chorus that is unique to that song on the record.
Yep.
It's not typical of our choruses in the main. That one's a bit more. Again, I think Guy put it best, and I think it's weird because I had exactly the same thought, which is the song feels to me in a good way like black and white and somber. And then you get to the chorus, it's almost like someone turns on colour. It's like, oh, let the sun rain. It's almost like that feeling of coming out of a monochrome situation into a colourful situation. And that's very rare that songs make me see things in my mind, if you like, but that one definitely does. It's like I see the video in my mind whenever I hear the song, which is...
What's the name of that film that does exactly that, starts in black and white and then starts to drip colouring?
Well, the one that first did it was Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy gets to Oz is blues colour. But in terms of like single shots, Pleasantville, do you mean? The one where it slowly goes from black and white to colour, yeah.
That would be cool.
Quality movie. Yeah, really, really good film.
That takes a lot of work.
When we wrote that, I don't think it was, but everyone tried me in with Wizard of Oz. But you meant Pleasantville. James lives on a different tangent to most of the earthly realms. So if you're into your Marvel universe, imagine Doctor Strange, and he looks at James like, WTF, dude, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Like, even like James is sometimes just brilliant. His thoughts are just unique and beyond anybody else. His comprehension.
Incredibly frustrating is what it is.
No, not at all. I think James, though, occasionally goes in and has these ideas. And you're like, why would you even consider that? But it's complete genius. You know what I mean? It's there's beauty in there.
And that's why we call him 1 in 10.
Wow.
I'm the guy who will already have had the conversation with someone before having the conversation with them.
Yes.
And, realised I just need to cut out the middleman and go to the end. But I'm learning that I need to take people along the journey now.
Yes.
It's really confusing.
Yeah. Hi guys, what do you think about this idea that I've had? No, we don't like it. Well, that's a shame because I've already put it into action.
Yeah. But also, so what do you think about the sparrows? It's like, James, you need to go back to the beginning. What sparrows? Where? What were you thinking of? Things. And it's just like, it just goes and he's off again. So it's a beautiful thing, but definitely it's such behold. Is that finished now? Have we played the record?
I think we've got like 15 seconds left, so it's probably into like bird song and children playing and...
I'm glad no one's found the actual secret track.
Oh, shut up.
You have to,
I was going to say little nugget for you, little fact. The children playing that you can hear there, that was actually us recording Daff and Dylan with their Lego, and they didn't realise.
Well, it sounded like Dav.
do you want the real story of that? I actually got that playground from a German playground. Hang on, whoa. A German internet site that deals in audio and that kind of thing. So I couldn't get anything good in the UK, so I actually had to go internationally for that sample. Yeah, so
if you translate that laughter...
I believe it's a German playground, believe it or not. Yeah. There we are. Blacklist exclusive. There you are. Yeah.
That's it. That's the album played through, guys.
That is a record, yeah. It's out in, UK-wise, 9, 10, 11, 3 hours. And then should drop at midnight in the States as well. So for those of you that are listening in the States, obviously a few more hours to go, but should be at midnight at your time as well, on the 22nd of the 2nd, 22.
Wow.
Yeah, easy date to remember, hopefully. Yeah, incredible.
Hans says the whole album is massive. You guys should be very proud of what you've created. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
We are.
George is asking, is that because British playgrounds are full of kids swearing?
Yeah, and smoking as well.
Yeah. They're not laughing, they're just going...
No, actually, they're all on their phones dead quiet.
Yeah. They're just using laughing emoticons, like, just constant.
I would have thought that Black Sunshine, your copy's on the way, I guess. I think we posted one.
Yeah, the ones that went anywhere outside the UK went a little bit earlier. I can't lie and say that I'm hopeful they'll be with you this week, but they will be with you as soon as they're with you. I mean,
not too long.
Yeah.
Not too. But obviously, from midnight, if you do stream, then Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, Pandora, Amazon, anywhere you normally might stream your music, it's there should be there from midnight. And if it's not, please let us know, because we as you don't know, we don't have huge amounts of people in the background telling us what's going on. So if you do notice any errors or any typos or anything, please let us know so we can get that fixed.
I think the one thing I want to say about the streaming is that for all you guys who've bought the album, you've done probably 3 years worth of streaming by buying the album. So
easy.
It is a massive thank you very much.
Absolutely.
For taking a risk on a band who said they were going to do this and eventually got there. Massive thank yous.
Yeah, 100%. I remember when we first started talking about doing a GoFundMe, and we were like, I don't think it's worth it. We'll just be embarrassed because no one will put money in, and we'll just look stupid for asking. And to go from that conversation to being on 3 hours away from releasing an album that was funded by people who wanted it based on the singles that we put out is staggering, absolutely staggering.
Yeah, we literally, I know we hopefully come across this way, but it's literally every day we're like pinching ourselves going, how did this happen? It's really...
We're in a band and it's working.
But it is still happening. We keep getting asked to do things and told about things like Jesus, and it's just incredible that the response people are giving to the music. And again, just to echo what James is saying, really, I know bands go on about it, but honestly, Spotify streams, I think we get 0.001 pence per stream or something like that. So yes, George, streaming it on repeat does help. It boosts the numbers, and all those algorithms do help. But in terms of financially, to get £10 worth of Spotify streams will probably take us 2-3 months. Whereas if you got the £10 for a copy of the CD and or the vinyl if it comes out later in the year, then we're very grateful for the physical purchases because that has a much more instant, bigger impact to enable us to do more music and hopefully get more stuff out there for you as quickly as possible.
And I say, with regards to the Spotify thing, press the like, on the album, press the like on the songs, share it, get it on a playlist if you like, you like a particular song, and hopefully it'll get in front of people and they'll listen to it, and hopefully that will just snowball and more people will hear it, because I think that's what we need right now, is for more people to hear.
Yeah, no, I agree with James. I know you might think, oh well, it's not my friends, it doesn't really matter, but honestly, if you've got a friend listen to rock and metal, play the song or talk about the band, it all makes a big difference. You just never know what person might know someone else, etc., etc. And picking up on your point, Becky, does it feel good to be wrong? To be honest, still can't quite believe that we went, should we go fund this? Nah, no one will ever pay for it. And then you're like sitting there going, why are people paying for this, Will? Why have we got money coming in, Will? There's quite a lot of money coming in, Will. I feel the pressure now, Will, to actually make the record pretty good. So it's still coming to terms with the fact that people have spent literally thousands of pounds funding us to put that record out. So pretty incredible, to say the least.
We're going to do it for album 2. Or are we just going to do it on pre-orders?
No, I'm not doing the same spreadsheets again. You asked Susie. All I wanted to talk to her about was spreadsheets on Friday night.
So rock and roll.
Oh, I am. I can't deal with that again. I have spent the last God knows how many days just packaging up bundles and parcels and triple checking addresses and just stressing over every single between me and my good friend post office counter lady. We've sent a lot of parcels over the last few days.
I like the fact that she's becoming my favourite member of the Blacklist, is post office counter lady. I just want to pop in and say, I just want to walk up, shake her hand and go, thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you so much for being the long-suffering member of this band.
Does she have a name? Do you actually know her name? I assume not, but...
post office counter lady.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah. I think she should remain anonymous.
POCL. We should so write a song about post office counter lady that we should make that happen. I bring you my package and you deliver. You put a stamp on and weigh my bags. Yeah, it would be amazing.
Deary me.
Lucy is your woman for spreadsheets. Knew you would love it, Dave. Lucy is amazing. Nice. I'm always sharing my Facebook feed, and once I have a copy, my neighbours will be listening too. Nice. D&B.
Right. Now, that's the album done.
It is. It is.
The album's finished. There's
So
2
tomorrow,
hours and...
Blacklist album 2. Let's go. Can't
Very
wait.
excited about that.
I know.
What are we going to do next? What's the plan for the next thing?
Indefinite hiatus for 3 years. Yeah.
Go out on top, undefeated. Not sure in what way, but we'll just claim it.
Yeah.
Nice pun. Got to be Black Penny at the post office later, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
Black Penny, good pun. So yeah, no, it's kind of. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it being out. Be fascinated to see what people think of those tracks, and then.
Please do let us know what you think of the album,
Yeah,
good or
please.
bad. And
Yeah.
you know, it's not. I know every band says it all the time about like and share and all that, but it does have an impact. It does make a difference. So if you like what we're doing and you want to just show it to one person who you think might like what we're doing, it's that momentum shifts. It's those little incremental shifts of momentum that really make the difference for any band. So I really hope you enjoy the album if you've not got it yet and you hear it after midnight tonight. If share it around. Please.
And we honestly care what you think. So if you think, I won't comment, it doesn't matter to them. No, please, we read every comment, or try, unless I've missed them, or Will misses them. But I know, I'm sure the guys are the same way. I read every comment that people make and try and like and comment on as many back as I can and don't miss, etc. So it does help. It does make a difference. Just amazing to hear what people are saying about it. So do when you've listened to it tomorrow, even though we've talked about it tonight, please do chime in and say, I really love track this, track that. These are one of my favourite. Or what were you thinking about this on track 4 or whatever? Please let us know. It'd be fascinating to get your thoughts.
Definitely. We'll maybe stick up a poll in the Blacklist in a. God, we will put a poll on the Blacklist in a couple of on a couple of days' time.
Just in a non-physical sense on the internet.
Thanks.
Not a physical poll.
Just to find out what people think their favourite tracks are.
Indeed. Definitely, George, blaring it out of your stereo does count as sharing because, according to Boris Johnson, COVID doesn't exist anymore, so we can all go out and infect everybody again. So infect them with Fawlb you've left behind.
Nice. It's the only thing we want to go pandemic this year.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Indeed. A worldwide pandemic record. Claire's also asking, are we partying till midnight? Are we just going to go straight through now?
I think I might party till midnight, but I've learned from the Christmas party that we did on here that I should probably do it off camera.
Were you slightly inebriated again?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure my neighbours have heard the album at least 3 times a day. Awesome.
Thank you.
Good word.
We appreciate
Good word.
it. I know, and again, if you don't think that you'll care much and you're good, believe me, you do. I gave, as you might imagine, my parents an early copy of the record. Have they listened to it? No. Like, you listened to the album yet? No. It's like, okay, you just created life, but you can't be bothered to listen to my, or our work is incredible. So it does matter that you listen to it. So thank you very much. Can't even get members of my family to listen to it.
But Max listened to it 3 times, which means you don't have to. Your parents don't have to listen to it once.
He's taking it from the.
They've done it for you. Max done it for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, wow, that was the first ever online play. I think it would have been of the whole album, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
First time that Avarice Landslide, For You Left Behind, recordings of those have been heard. I think anywhere in the world online. So that was pretty cool. That was a thing, as they say.
Right. So do we call it? Is this the end of the the last ever live Blacklist before the album drops?
Yeah. The impromptu last minute Blacklist. Let's share the record, and 2.5 hours. It will be there. If you haven't got a copy already, on your favourite streaming services and some rubbish ones as well.
Or you can go to www.blacklakes.bigcartel.com and you can buy a copy of the album, which is obviously the best way to do it, because then you get to appreciate all the art and the effort that we put into the case.
Yep. And the booklet and the CD.
The 100% cardboard case.
Yes, and we are no plastic. And we are 100% committed to the vinyl at some point. There will be a vinyl version, which I'm really looking forward to.
When they figure out how to make the actual vinyl out of cardboard, we are all over it.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not one-use plastic, is it, the record? Hopefully that's multiple-use plastic.
Yes.
Yeah. You can eat your dinner off it for plenty of days before it starts to give out.
Everyone's saying thank you so much. You're very, very welcome.
Oh, 100%. Thank you for joining us, honestly.
Becky, George, Black Sunshine, Isabel, everyone that joined us, Kirsty.
Susie, Claire, Kaz.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so welcome. So glad you enjoyed the music. Can't wait to share even more new stuff with you. That's what I'm excited about. It's like, yeah, new songs. Super excited.
And soup.
And soup.
New soup.
And Russian balashis.
Yeah.
From a coffee bar.
Nice. I'll look into it now, don't worry.
Right, Daff, you've not shut up all night. Have you got any last words?
That's great, thanks, Sam.
Cut it there.
R.I.P. to the songs that didn't make it on the album.
You pour a drink out on the...
for it is the name of the Father and the Son. Bless thee that did not make the record. Absolutely.
Are they the ones we left behind?
Hey. Yeah. I did that joke earlier, yeah. But you know, I'm sure we'll release the nearly made it and the demos. It seems like some people want to hear those, so that's at some point I'm sure we'll do something like that.
Yeah, I guess the hard thing now is going to be picking what goes on album 2.
Psycho Billy. That's what I reckon. We're going to do a Psycho Billy record.
That's what they call me.
Psycho Billy. To be honest, it's more of what you become after taking Billy. I think is a little bit psycho.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Right.
Last word, you, James.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the support, for listening to it, for loving it, for sharing the journey with us. It really has been an amazing first step into where I always wanted to be. 25 years ago, I said I wanted to do this. I wanted to release an album. I wanted to be in a band of friends and brothers making amazing music, and here I am.
You've had to make do with us, but you...
It's a lovely place to be. It's been a long time coming, and there's so much more to give. So, thank you.
Definitely, Dill. Your ending thoughts in the last few hours before the album is out for all time.
I'm excited for our Beatles Go to India era.
Coming soon.
Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream, my friend.
Yeah.
It is not dying. It is not dying. No, I'm super pumped for that phase, bro. I cannot wait. It's like shit.
I get my actual sitar out. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. Blacklist have got old Sergeant Pepper on its ass. I'll be like, yeah, man, this is amazing.
Of course he's got a
His
sitar.
face already. He looks absolutely terrified. Lee, your parting words, thoughts.
We're just waiting to wrap this up because I'm out of beer now.
always thinking with your stomach, which is good. But your liquid stomach. It's been emotional. Remember us when you're rocking out Madison Square Garden and driving Rolls Royces into the swimming pools.
Not going to happen. Come on.
Yeah, we could try. To be fair, Lee, we want the guitar-shaped pool in LA, right? That's the plan.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be arrested for driving someone else's Rolls Royce into someone else's swimming pool.
Yeah. But as soon as I heard the first songs, I knew you guys are something special. Wow, that's just amazing, Dave. Thanks very much. So I think we're all fascinated and intrigued to see where the journey takes us. It's already beyond our expectations, and it keeps growing. So, we're hopeful and optimistic that it'll grow even more this year. And then, I'd like to say, I would strongly believe. I don't think it'll change us, so none of you guys will be forgotten. I promise we will look after you.
The Blacklist is what, to be honest, for all we've achieved as a band, the Blacklist is probably one of the best things about it.
We're
Absolutely love it.
Nothing without you guys. Nothing without you guys. We are well aware of who puts us on the Patriot on a Friday night to a packed out crowd, and it's you. It's not necessarily us. So just don't drive an electric car into the swimming pool. Game over. Yeah, that generally speaking, water and electric don't mix. It's one of my favourite bits from the Metallica video. I get shocked when I stand in that water. Well, don't stand in that water. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of life advice I think is really practical. And also, don't fight bears.
Don't fight bears, James.
One of James's absolute pillars. Don't fight bears. Well, some of my favourite life advice. Right, I'm going to leave.
Yeah, have you got any final words, Scott?
Guys, yeah.
What's that, you, Dylan? What'd you say, sorry?
So we can't forget about being self-indulgent.
No, we can't.
Self-indulgent.
Right, guys. We've been an hour and a half.
Your last words. Your last words.
I mean, for me, to be honest, it's all on the record. So everything that I wanted to express, artistically and musically, it's all on the record. So if you want to know some of what I think and feel, listen to the songs. That'll tell you, I think personally, everything that I think you need to know and want to know. I mean, it's all in there, in the music and in the words.
Nice one.
Awesome.
Will?
Hey, you guys have said it all. I mean, there's nothing else I can add. Thank you to everyone again that's been on the journey with us. It's been a really weird couple of years because of what's gone on, globally, but also a really special couple of years for us. Frustrating in parts again because of what's been happening, but we've arrived at where we are now, and the journey has helped shape that. So I guess I wouldn't change it, and I'm incredibly grateful to every single person that has got involved over the Black Lakes timeline as it is so far, and I hope you stay with us for what comes next.
I'm looking forward to the commemorative one day the album's been out, Blacklist on Wednesday. Right, guys, so the album's been out a day. What do you think? No, I'm just kidding. I think it's a week Wednesday, isn't it? The next official one, is that right? Or is it next Wednesday? Yeah, week Wednesday. So yeah, we may just let the album sit for a few days and weeks and see what happens, and then we'll obviously keep you posted. So yeah,
right.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us.
See you later, guys. Have a nice evening. Thank you again for joining us. Goodbye.